Alright everyone, today we're going to be going over FactoryTalk Historian SE. Basically what we're going to be doing is we're going to be configuring a new historian server. We're going to work with auto discovery tags. We're going to be using system management tools using such as Excel, PI, Builder, application add-ins. So with that being said, let's configure a time series data collection. Uh, First thing you're going to want to do is make sure your emulator is on. So turn on your emulator. Make sure your emulator is on. Give it a second. The emulator should come on. So this can verify. You're going to get a run light. Let's make this bigger. So we should get a green light over here and OK over here. Alright, now we're good to go because that is good to go. So we checked the health of our emulator. Now what we're going to do is we're going to start up our Studio 5000. Gonna open up. I have my file as a FTM demo. Um, whatever file is yours might be different. Just give it a second. It takes time to start up. Okay. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna go in controller tags. I'm gonna open up the tag. Once that's open, uh, we're gonna verify a couple things that our tags that we want to verify actually exist. The tags we're going to be looking at is T100 demo temp and T200 demo temp, which these exist. They're the type they are, float, decimals, whatever they are. We're going to be working with these and these. So now what we're going to do is we're going to open FactoryTalk. Basically, this is the FactoryTalk admin console and check our data sources. You're going to click OK. And then you're going to go on InstaSoap, Mixing, RS Links Enterprise, Communication Setup. We're going to verify that CLX1 is actually highlighted and they actually have the FTH demo in slot 2, which we can channel 0, DF1 point to point 2. Up, that looks about right. And now we can verify by clicking it here. See, it says it right here. Path to primary device is defined. Then you're gonna press close. Now that that's verified, now we're gonna open our FactoryTalk Live Data test client, which is this. Once we've opened up that tool, we're gonna click OK. And you should see data coming in. Boom, boom, boom. But there should be actual values here. Okay, there it goes. Comes in. Gives a little bit of time to start up, but once it's coming, it should be good. Now we can observe the current values in the column. Now we can close this because we know our values are coming in. Now we just want to verify our historian server. The way we're going to do that is we're going to go in historical data, so connection, historical data, production history, FTL1. So basically the point is that the FTLD1 interface was created via Historian Express installation. So you're going to right click FTLD1. They're going to go on properties. Once you go on properties, you're going to note that the server is either started at the startup or it's going to say automatic, which is this over here. And as you can see, the server is started. What we're going to do is we're going to stop it. After we've stopped it, you're going to go on scan classes, and then you're going to see the 10 values. If you want to learn more about this, you can click on here and it'll tell you more information about scan classes and how they work. Another thing we're going to want to do is we're going to verify the license for it. So the way you're going to verify the license, you're going to leave this box, and then you're going to go on production, right click, properties, and then you're going to see go on licensing. You could tell that it's been activated because of this one, assigned one, and our server is good. If you want to know more information about this, you can always click on the question mark help sign and it'll tell you more information about it. So we can close this. Properties. And we're going to go on the point sources. And notice the absence of the FLTD points that were not being used. 0, 0. And you can click on this to give you information about the historian server and properties. Now let's go discover new historian points. We're going to return to the administration. And we're going to go on InstaSoap, mixing. InstaSoap, we're going to do discover historian points. And then that's going to bring you in our new discover new historian points. What you're going to want to do is make sure that your default scan rate is equal to 1 second. You're going to want to deselect all the star search, all the points except the links enterprise, unless you have your other tags which are configured in your links classic or your OPC UA server you're using, or any one of the HMI SCADA services that you are using. Then you can check mark these and it'll find the tags. And then you're gonna check mark that, enable data type filter, and then you're gonna go on mixing. The point we need to take away from this is that we deselected the 3 unused sources simply to speed up the search process. That's all it did for us. Now, basically, what you're going to want to do is click next. And as you can see, this is the discover historian points. The wizard is now processing through the selected data sources in the area of the scope that we define. And all the points that match the default discovery rule set. So we're just going to wait a while for the auto discovery to find all the logic point and the matching default discovery rules. Boom. And it is finished. So with that being said, let's confirm the new data points are there. So we're going to do confirm points. And now you're going to want to press start. Just give it a second, it does its thing, but it will work. And now we're going to want to go on the production. We're going to and then we're going to click OK. And now let's go on production historian, properties, and then we're going to go on point sources. And then we're just going to verify and see the points are in use and we actually have values there. So as you can see, these are the points that we extracted and they're here. Well, what we need to take the learning point in this is that there might be slight delay in some of the points, and then you can refresh if you want to make sure that all the points come there. But how do you refresh? If you want to refresh it, you just close it and then open it again. So in the General tab, you're going to go on Launch System Management Tool. And then once you're there, you're going to briefly see all the different things in there, series, the System Management Tool. And what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to click on Points. Which is here. Then you're going to want to build on Point Builder and launch Point Builder. We're going to expand this a little bit. Now you're going to go to the tag search, and in that tag search we're going to want to find PV. I'm going to say search those bad boys. Sorry about that. Now that the data is there, let's make this bigger so we can tell the difference, and here it is. So what I want to do is change a couple of my tags. So I'm going to click on that one I want to change. You're going to have to hold control so you can have multiple checked at the same time. The 200 and the 300 PV demo. And then basically these are the ones that we're going to want to rename. And you click OK, and it puts it here. And now I'm gonna rename this, but this is how you rename it. So you click on rename, and then you can put in the name that you would like. So I want to name mine to the new name, CST100. And I also want to do that for this one. Rename. I'm gonna click OK. And now as you can see, our names have changed. Some of the things I'm going to be changing is the archive. So if I go in there, some of the points I want to change. So what I'm going to be changing is my typical values, which is this one. I'm going to change that from 0, 50 to 100. I'm going to change this 0 to 60. I'm going to change this from 100 to 90. And then I'm going to press save. So make sure this gets saved in there. And I want to do it for all three of them. I'm going to make that 100. I'm going to make that 60. I'm going to make this 90. I'm going to make this 100. Oh, I had already done that. So first, second, third. Let's make this one also 100. Make this 60. Make this 90. So basically the typical value of 0 the typical value 0 and span of these temperature points were changed because they all have a range of 60 to 150 in the controller. The changes are not instantaneous but are implemented by the FTLD1 interface, and it'll happen within like 15 seconds. The second point is that when the point builder plugin, you must select and configure save each point individually, except for when you rename it. So those were the key points that I was trying to show here. And now once that's done, I'm gonna make sure that my T200 compression is off and exception deviation is 0, and the max min value over here needs to be 0. I'm gonna press save. Basically, we know that, well, I know for my case is that the CLX1 T200 demo temp PV is now uniquely configured for no exception or compression filtering, so that we may compare it to T100 and T300 with the default exception of compression filtering. Now let's go to classic. For make sure you're on 200, we're going to make sure that the location 3 is 0 and it is demo 200. So we know that what we're trying to do is basically the CLX1 T200 demo temp is now uniquely configured as pulled. The location 3 we just edited, changed to of the CLX1 T100 from the unsolicited to pulled. And a little bit more about these locations. Basically, by default, location 1. The default one is typically used when the interface is installed on the FactoryTalk Historian. And if the interface are not installed on the FactoryTalk Historian computer, typically on a remote FactoryTalk View SE or RX Linux Enterprise computer, you would reference to ID typically 2 or larger. Location 2 is usually never used. Location 3, which is the tag type polled event or advised. 0, polled or event, basically trigger input. 1, unsolicited advised input. And then 2 is the output. And then 4, basically scan class number. Default 1 equates to 1 second scan rate. And then location 5, which is pulled from the cache or pulled from a device. So in our case, we're doing location 1, which defines the interface ID. And we're doing location 4, which is scan class number, which is 1 per second. So we're going to save. And then we're going to go back to our production historian. The production historian. Basically, let's go back to our production historian server. So this is our production historian server. Once we come back to that, we're going to do manage in Microsoft Excel. This will open our Excel. If you get prompted with this, I just always get it, ignore that. Now what we're going to do is we're going to go in our ribbon, and then we're going to go in the PI Builder tool. Once you're in the PI Builder tool, we're going to want to go and connect the data sources. You're going to go here, VM data. Once that's there, you're going to go on PI points, and then you're going to go find, you're going to go on find PI points. And then once you're there, you're going to want to search them. So search all. And now we want to specifically find the tags that we want. So you can drag, open this. And basically the name, we're going to put a star. Point source, we're going to have FPLD, and then a star and a star, and then we're gonna search. And basically we're gonna click OK. And then what we're going to do is we're going to click OK button to select the objects that we want, which is all of these. And then we don't want all of it. So let's close this, close this, close this, close this, close this. Don't want this, don't want this. We're only going to have the required, the archived, and the system. Notice the description. The column in this group are required. So this may not be detected in either group nor select X column may be moved. Basically, the learning point is that the description above from the archive section, in addition to the required column, we selected the archive because we want to review the common FactoryTalk Historian points attribute we made earlier using the system management tool. The second point want to get at over here is that we also selected the system to illustrate the 3-point changes made earlier using a system management. So now you're going to click OK. And now all of them have been copied. You're gonna click close, and then you can see column B is the name, column F is the comp dev. Basically, you can refer back to what we were doing earlier and click on the question mark to find out more information about all this stuff. So now we're gonna sort this data. I'm gonna go on home. Nope, we're not gonna go on home. We're gonna go on data because we're gonna sort the data. And then you're gonna want to press click sort, and then how you want to sort that data. Basically, you want to have the change date, and then you want to have the values from Z to A. Gonna want to press OK, and then sort anything that looks like a number. And now they've all been sorted. And basically, as you can see, these are the ones that we modified. And then if you scroll, basically this historian captured all the changes that we made. The changes that we made from scan rate to span. As you can see, we made it to basically in column P is the span that we changed of all the 3 points, and then you have your column R, which is the typical value that we changed, and the S value that we changed to 60. And if you go to column T, it has a timestamp from when it was changed. So we're not going to make a export or any additional changes. The point of this is just to show you that the historian captures everything, and that's how you read it and extract the data. So what you're going to want to do is now we're going to return to FactoryTalk. So let's exit out of here. Now we don't really need to save anything. We're going to go back to our FactoryTalk administration and then close anything that needs to be closed. So basically what we did was we familiarized ourselves with the points that will be logged in the historian in the subsequent section. And we verify the configuration of the RX Linux. We verify the computer controller. We basically verify the computer controller, available data for data acquisition in the FactoryTalk historian. We verify historian server and the FactoryTalk LD interface. We performed auto discovery for the points, and then we use the SMT point builder plugin to modify the points, this is a point builder. And then we went to Excel. We used the Excel add-on to view the FactoryTalk historian points that we archived and the changes that were made, and we verified the FactoryTalk live data interface setting. And that'll be it for today. Thanks for tuning in, guys.